technically. Where has he improved, or were you surprised that, boom, right out of the blocks, he was as good as he is? Fill us in on that.
Well, I think there's been a lot of growth since the time he got here to where he is now. And with quarterback play, in our opinion, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not all his responsibility, meaning his teammates have a lot to do with it. We've been very fortunate. I think we've established the line of scrimmage very well. That's probably an understatement. I think anytime you're able to block as well up front as what we have been doing, I think you're going to have good play around that from every skill position. And I think the quarterback can be a representative of really terrific offensive line play. So I think our ability to run the football, I think our ability to protect the passer as well as we have, relates to the effectiveness and the efficiency of a quarterback play. So with that being said, our receivers are doing a great job. JK's doing a great job. Mazur's doing a great job. It's a piece of the puzzle, and he's done a great job of staying within our schemes, staying within the system, staying within himself. And I think what's interesting is when you're as talented as he is, when you have the arm strength and when you have the physical abilities that he has, it would be really easy for the ego to get involved and to, in a certain situation, feel that you can make that play. And he understands that it's about the team. He's putting the team first. So there's a time to throw the ball away. There's a time to stay within yourself and within the system and take care of the ball. So those are the important things. And his growth, and his ability to be unselfish is to me what has given him so much success right now is taking care of that football and putting the team first. Because if you're that talented, man, you see that small window, you think you can get it in there. Somebody's covered, not really, I can do it, right? So his ability to understand those situations and to manage that, I think, has given him the amount of success that he's had.
He seems unflappable too, but there hasn't really been that it moment. How do you prepare a guy like you're down 4 with 2 minutes to play? How do you coach him through that when you haven't seen it yet?
Well, I think you try to rep those in practice as much as you can, and the pressures and the preparation, as they say, right? So if you continually put pressure on them during practice and put them in those situations and make it hard in the practice, and you're going against a really good defense in practice, then I think when it happens in the game, you just react, and you play faster, and you're in the moment, and you've drilled it, so they're prepared. So they're anticipating that and can play with great speed and anticipation.
Front row right, Austin from Letterman Row.
Mike, you talked in the spring about the development process of learning the offense with Justin and going through all that. At what point did you feel like he was really getting it?
Well, I don't know if you sit there and you say, okay, has he really gotten it? I mean, it's still a work in progress. We're still trying to get better. So every day is just another opportunity to learn more and to refine more and to get better. We're not sitting here right now saying, okay, man, we've really gained a lot. Look at where we're at.
Yeah.
No, it's like, where can we go? Let's keep getting better. So I don't really think about it in that sense. I know that's kind of avoiding that question, but we really don't reflect back and say, man, look how much we've learned. This is, how much left. We still have a lot of work to do. So we're just trying to get back to work and get better.
So take me to that other side then.
Yep.
Like, how much more do you see? How much more room is there? How much more can you install in the spring?
A significant amount. What is that? I think we both can get better. I can become a better quarterback coach, and he can become a better quarterback within this system. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. You watch practice tape, you see mistakes that shouldn't be made. There's room for improvement.
Front row middle, Dave from 24/7 Sports.
Mike, Coach Day's talked a lot about Justin Fields' toughness. I'm sure you guys knew he was tough before the game started, but Coach Day was saying he didn't know how tough he was until because you guys weren't hitting in camp and stuff like that. When did you know just how tough he was?
I think you're finding out as the season progresses just how tough he is, and you face tougher opponents. And I think the Wisconsin game, You know, obviously he showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, took some hits, and just as the season goes on, and you see a guy that bounces back and is able to practice, you know, with some soreness too. That's some toughness. You got a lot of adrenaline on Saturday afternoons, and sometimes it's easier to get back up, but not as easy to practice on Tuesday and get going. So I think his toughness has shown throughout the week and as the season progresses.
Now, obviously, the most important thing is winning the game, but also how important is it to get Chugs or even Hoke some time, you know, in real game situations, just in case something would happen with Justin?
Very important. You know, you have to, certain things come into factor. Obviously, you want the game in hand, but you have to be able to develop your guys and to be able to get a lead and to get them significant snaps, you know, is really important for their development. Game snaps, live game snaps.
Well, front row right, Bill from the Dispatch.
Yep, you talked about what, in terms of you and Justin, how you guys can improve overall as an offense. What do you think is the next step? What can you improve? Is it pass protection? I mean, that's maybe one area where at times it's been a little bit shaky. What's the next area to improve?
I would say that we need to continue to improve on the things that really matter towards winning. And even though statistics say one thing, we can always improve and work on the base fundamentals of ball security. That's first and foremost. And then, yes, protections. Protecting the quarterback, him protecting himself, knowing when to get rid of the football and not take unnecessary hits, very important. But then just being able to develop, staying within your schemes but tweaking them a little bit week to week and staying within a structure in which we know which is familiar, but you know, maybe disguising by formation or a tag, a certain play, a certain concept to make it a little bit more difficult to defend, and to develop those concepts and continually work on those schemes, I think, are very important, as well as situational football, getting better in the red zone, getting better, you know, when we get in position to score and take advantage and scoring points, you know, what we call is the plan to win.
You came from a program and a conference that a lot of offense. What strikes you in your time here about whether the talent level, the coaching level, whatever it might be, that's just wow?
Well, I think what we have here at Ohio State is a very much a team concept. You know, as an offense, we understand the plan to win is to play great defense. And in order to play great defense, you have to establish the line of scrimmage, you have to run the football, you have to protect the football very well. And those are sorts of things that are team things that are, it's not, you know, just about one side of the ball, it's about special teams, it's about defense and playing great defense, and we have to do our part as an offense for the team to have success.
Right next door, Tim, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Mike, playing off of that a little bit, what is the biggest difference 8 games into this that you've seen from Big Ten defenses compared to what you were looking at in the last couple of years at Oklahoma State? I mean, a lot of people, you know, the perception is the Big 12 doesn't play a lot of great defense. What have you seen?
I would say probably just the ability to, you see more drop 8 in the Big 12. You see more guys in coverage as opposed to, you know, more 4-down defensive structures. In simplest terms, more coverages in the Big 12 as opposed to Big 10.
Yeah, and the other thing, past his leadership and being a team guy and stuff, what is a physical thing that you spotted about Justin Fields over the last many months that sets him apart, do you think?
Well, if you're able to give, if you give him something new from a drop standpoint, maybe it's under center and throwing the speed out to the field.
Yeah.
He's able to take it from the meeting, and his first rep, it's right on point. You know, you drill a little bit, and some guys just, you know, it's hard for them to get the rhythm and to, you know, take some words into, you know, the dance.
Yeah.
But he's able to transition very well. He's very natural. He's a very gifted athlete. He can do a lot of different things well. We went golfing in the summer, and he's never golfed before, and you'd never know it, you know. And with a couple rounds, I think he'd be able to even compete with a guy like me. But no, that's no joke. He can hold his own. He's just a natural. He's a very gifted athlete, and that's what's most impressive.
Front row middle, Joey from the Dispatch.
Justin's from Georgia, kind of a little bit of a warmer weather state than here. With it being November now, do you have to get somebody like that kind of more prepared to play in cold weather, and how do you do that?
I don't think so. I mean, it is what it is, and the weather is going to be an element that we can't control. We talk about things that are under our control: our preparation, our effort, our toughness, our ability to recognize defenses, communicate, all the things that we can control. The weather is not one of them, so we don't focus on that. We practice in the elements. We break out the wet ball drill when we anticipate rain, but we block out the things that we can't control and try to stay focused on the things that we can. And I think that's where his mindset is.
Was the Wisconsin game maybe an encouraging sign for how he'll look in the cold November game? That was a game where it was rainy, and he ran the ball 13 times.
Yeah,
most of the
he's
season.
got good size hands. He's got really good strength in his grip. So, you know, I don't think the wet ball will affect him as much as other quarterbacks. Will it affect him? Yeah, I think a wet ball and cold weather will affect any passer to a degree. And what degree is that? I think we'll find out a little bit more as it gets more chilly. But he's shown signs that he can effectively still be productive even in wet conditions.
Far left, Lori from 610 WTVN.
Coach, you work with Justin, so does Corey, so does Ryan. It had the potential to be a case of too many pitches, but you guys have made it seem so seamless. How have you managed to work out where you all have input and he's yet hearing one voice?
Well, I think our ability to be on the same page is really important. I think Corey and I do a really good job of listening to Ryan and how he teaches the quarterback and his coaching terms and trying to be parallel with that, you know, to say things and to speak it and spit it out the way he spits it out. And then for clarification and for us to be you know, poised and to understand that there is going to be some growth, there is going to be some growing pains, and so there is that process of there's got to be some degree of patience, but at the same time we're all trying to be as urgent as we possibly can because we know what's at stake here. So I think all those factors come into it, and the maturity level is where it needs to be.
Fourth row middle, Patrick from 24/7 Sports.
Going back to the first question you were answering, talking about Justin having the ability to make throws, but realizing when he needs to throw away. When he got here, where was he on that scale? How comfortable was he, you know, making those decisions? Hey, I'll take the incompletion. I know Ryan's talked about that a lot today, but for this year, I don't know where he was after playing Georgia.
When you're in practice and as you're preparing and you're in spring ball, you tend to have a quicker whistle because, you know, the quarterbacks aren't live. So you don't know exactly how a lot of those scenarios are going to play out because the whistle's blown dead and you go on to the next play. And it's kind of like it's spring ball. It is what it is. You move on to the next practice. Well, in the games, it's a little bit different because you don't blow the whistle as quick, and he's able to create, he's able to extend plays. And then, you know, when there's an advantageous situation, he takes advantage of it. When it doesn't look good and it looks a little bit bleak, and the advantage isn't on our side, he's able to disengage. So you don't really know what that situation is until you play the game. So there's a little bit of uncertainty early on of where exactly that is. So it's a hard question to answer as far as where was it? Was it always there? You know, and we've just realizing this now? I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think it's development. I think it's a lot of drill work. I think it's a lot of teaching and stressing in meetings and understanding the plan to win here at Ohio State and our philosophy. I think all of that will factor into it. But hard to measure, very hard to measure.
And final question, second row right, Tony from the Ozone.
Mike, do you assign the Buckeye leaves for the quarterbacks?
No, sir.
Who does that? Is
Not sure.
Okay, so that's not any part of the assistant coach's jobs, it's just the guys under you?
I've never been asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
That's it, Tony?
That's
That
it.
was your question? All right.
Sorry, Tony.
Okay. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.
No, but you can't.